Hey Star Wars fans, the Bluesbro here again, and I wanted to make another video as kind of like a continuation of the last video I posted about bringing my son to Crimson Dawn to get our first lightsabers. So if you saw that, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. But if you saw that, you know that we went there and asked for some mystery boxes, and I came home with the Antares, and my son came home with this, what I'm about to show you. So when we got there, they asked us, you know, what are you into? What's your favorite color? Are you into light side, dark side? And they're kind of coming up with an idea to, you know, pick out a mystery box for us. And so anyway, I ended up with the Antares. And when they asked my son what he was into, let's see if I can set the mood right. He said, "I like the dark side." So anyway, they were looking at some mostly, you know, black hills, you know, you know, not anything too Jedi-like, but something a little darker. And the first one they showed him was the Banshee, and you know, his eyes grew big, and you could just tell that was the lightsaber for him. And so anyway, let me just give you a quick rundown of the Banshee on their website, because it's kind of, you know, limitless, the options on there. So let me go ahead and show you. So if you go to their tier 2 lightsabers, you can see, well, based off price anyway, the Banshee is like their most basic model available. So I think the mystery box was $79.99, I forget, but you know, even if you got their most basic lightsaber out of a mystery box, you're still getting yourself a deal. But let's go ahead and click on the Banshee here. And the thing that I think is just so cool about this lightsaber are all the color options on it. So you can get it in a light, a gray, a dark, or black. This is the one that my son got. Crimson red, azure blue, amethyst, purple, rose gold, and I think one more. Yep, hunter green. You can also get this in a smooth grip versus kind of like the finger grip. But so anyway, so they gave him a Banshee, and you know, he's like, "This is mine," and you know, he's just not letting go of it as we're going on the little tour of the shop, and he's showing us everything. And we're walking by some lightsaber parts, and he says, "Dad, look, that looks like Darth Vader," and it was a grip from another lightsaber. And so anyway, Omega says, "Can I see your lightsaber a second?" And you know, he starts unscrewing stuff, and he puts on this grip, and he says, "Here, this is yours. We've made this lightsaber just for you." And so they made him like a custom lightsaber, which is just, you know, so cool. They really made the experience amazing for my son. He probably thinks this is the only one in the world, like he's, you know, one in a million, and he's just so excited that, you know, this is made just for him. But so you can actually, I can show you how to make something just like this. So if you went back to their website, and if you got yourself a Banshee and then went over to parts and accessories, saber parts, and then browsed through the grip sections, I think it's called, the Eclipse. So you get yourself an Eclipse grip, and I don't know, a Banshee in a different color, like maybe a blue with a silver grip or something. I mean, you could really make something very unique and custom. So that's what I love about these LGT lightsabers. It's just, you know, you can switch out all of these pieces. You know, it's so modular. You know, switch out the pommel, the grip, switch section, emitter, and really make it your own. But yeah, so this is my son's Banshee. Now, me trying to be a good dad, I was just a little worried about some of the sharper edges of this grip. So I brought it out to the garage and, you know, took some sandpaper to an edge and thought to myself, well, that's going to take too long. I'll get the Dremel. So I put a sanding wheel on my Dremel, and I started to hit the edge, and immediately started making mistakes, and I missed, and I really nicked this thing up quite a bit. And then I made it so bad in some places that I thought, okay, let me grab the polishing wheel and see if I can maybe try to make that look normal again. And it ended up just taking off that brushed aluminum look and giving it some really shiny highlight areas. And so anyway, I'm thinking to myself, I wrecked it. What am I going to do now? So I walk into the house and I'm like, hey, buddy. And he's like, let me see. And he's like, oh my gosh, it looks like it has battle damage. And I was like, that's what I was going for, bud. So anyway, he loves it just the way it is. Bless his heart for, after what Dad did to it. But he loves it the way that it looks. And you know what? I'm starting to appreciate it too. But so yeah, this is the Banshee, and now this one has a V6 core in it, and the last video had a Crimson core in it. Now the way that they navigate the settings and the actual settings on the lightsaber are identical, right? So one blink for no sound on the Crimson core. I think it was called mute. Loud sound. I think it said volume 11. Softer sound, I think the Crimson core said volume 5. So, that first one blink setting change works exactly the same as the Crimson core. It's just playing a different audio track. Same thing for 2 blinks on the blade styles, 3 blinks for the music track, 4 blinks to switch sound fonts. So again, navigation, exactly the same, but all of the sounds on it are different. So they both come with 9 sound fonts, and the V6 comes with 6 music tracks, I believe, and the Crimson core came with 4. Now, the Crimson core has kind of like your more trilogy-based and prequel-based, like it has Duel of the Fates and Imperial March on it, and the V6 has mostly your sequel music tracks on here. And I'll run through them real quick. I don't want this video to get super long like the last one did. And some of these songs, you kind of have to get like 20 seconds in before you're like, oh, that one. But let me run through them quick. 3 blinks. And again, you can use the lightsaber when this is, playing music. This is one of those. Kind of have to let play. And then you're like, oh yeah. Oops. There we go. I actually got 4 blinks in there, and I switched sound fonts. And I have to note from my last video, the smooth swing wasn't working the greatest on one of the sound fonts, and I kind of had to go through them a little bit. The battery ended up dying 3 minutes later. I'm so sorry. The smooth swing sounds better than what's displayed or demoed in that video. So that's not a difference between like V6 and Crimson core. They both sound good. It's just my battery was just about to go, and I think that's what made the smooth swing sound kind of rough on that last video. It does sound good. For like an eco smooth swing, it's pretty amazing, and it makes this so much fun to play with. Just that, So we had a General Kenobi. Dooku. Sounds pretty good.
I'm Cal Kestis.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
I love the ignition on this one. It's so nostalgic. So this Darksaber was on the Crimson core, but I think there's a difference in them. So they have the same like Prion noise, but this one has a different sounding font to it.
Ray Skywalker.
I like the ignition on this one too. Leia.
I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
And back to a Kylo. And then, let me just throw a blade in real quick here. So the blade styles, again, identical. Pulse. I forget what it was called on the Crimson Core. Unstable. We got kind of an unstable effect with a bit more of a strobe. And then it also has the stable blade as well. And then when it's on, 2 blinks, you go into the color change mode. Again, any of these lightsabers from, Crimson Dawn or Dark Wolf or wherever you get one of these from, they all come with every color. You don't have to just pick one color. I'll go ahead and wait for a red. Seems how we're on a Kylo. I think I forgot to mention in the last video, so a single click for blade deflection or blaster deflection. A single blink for blade lockup. And single click to release the blade lockup. And then this also has a flash on clash feature. Probably shouldn't do that next to the microphone. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and turn that off. That is the Banshee, custom Banshee with Eclipse grip from Crimson Dawn. So, don't want to make this video too long. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below, and may the Force be with you. Catch you next time.